Hey folks, so it's week 4, Tuesday, September 15th. This is your daily forecast, and today there are 2 tasks that we're doing. The first task is preparing you for peer review, and the second task is peer review itself, okay? So in task 1, these are the ways that I want you to prepare for peer review. So first, I want you to check that everyone in your group has uploaded a draft to your group's folder. So go ahead and check that now. All right? If you notice that your peer has not uploaded a paper, the first thing you might want to do is take a minute to message your peer in Slack and say, hey, did you forget to upload your paper? If it isn't resolved rather quickly, I want you to go ahead and give me a text so that I am aware and I can try to contact the student, see what's happening, and adjust things. Okay? Remember that if you don't have your stuff posted on time, you do lose out of those peer review points, and that is 5 points of your grade, so you don't want to skip that. All right? So you've done that, you've checked to see that your peers have uploaded their drafts, you've let me know if there's a problem. The next thing that I want you to do is go into your assigned peer review Slack channel and just take a moment to read your peers' reflective posts. So for homework, in addition to finishing their rough draft, your peers were supposed to hop into your assigned Slack channel and just post something that's like, hey, here's what I think how I did in terms of my my writing. Here's what I was trying to accomplish. Here's what I think I still need help with. So it's a good idea to just read those and familiarize yourself with the issues that your peers are having. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to head over to here and check out your workflow for your group. So I've basically set an order of peer reviews so that your peers are not reviewing the same paper at the same time, because that's going to create a bottleneck kind of situation for you. All right, so just go ahead and figure out which paper you're supposed to be reviewing first or second, and some of you, your third paper, right? So figure that out, and then you are prepared for peer review. So in task 2, I want you to start by reading your first assigned paper in Google Docs, all right? So just click on your first peer's paper, and as you're reading it, you might decide to add some comments in the margins using the comment feature to maybe highlight aspects of your peers' writing that you really appreciate, or flag moments where you think they need to expand, or flag posts or parts of their writing that seem confusing, or maybe moments where they forgot to add in some in-text citation, okay? So just keep that in mind. In the second thing that I want you to do once you've read it and created some comments is you're going to notice that at the end of your peer's paper, there is a copy and pasted peer review form, okay? If for some reason your peers forgot to paste that, you can paste it into the bottom of their draft for them, but what I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you fill out the peer review form in as complete a manner as possible, okay? And make sure that if you're reviewer 1, you are typing your comments in the assigned color and so forth for reviewer 2 or 3. Okay, so you're each typing your answers to those peer review questions in a certain color depending on what number reviewer you are, whether you're the first, second, or third person to read that paper, okay? The next thing that I want you to do is after you have read the paper, commented in the margins, and then filled out, answered as completely as possible those peer review questions, knowing you're being graded on that completion, I want you to head over to Slack and just offer a holistic feedback in terms of what you think your peer did well and what you think they still need to develop in their writing. I want you to think about the conversation that you have in Slack is you really just having a conversation with them. So you can say, hey, I mentioned this in more detail in my feedback, in my response to the peer review form, or hey, I flagged this issue in your paper, but this is what I kind of want you to get at, all right? And I want you to think about this as just sort of a conversational space for you to talk about each other's writing, because I think a lot of times when we give peer review, we don't realize that we're not being as clear as we could have been, and so this is just to add another level of clarity, okay? So that's the process for engaging in peer review. So once you've done that for your first peers paper, you'll head over and do the same thing to your second peers paper. The thing that I want you to keep in mind though, is that if you're the second person to read it, it's a really good idea to, definitely read the marginal comments that your peers have flagged, because it's possible that they might have already flagged something you were going to say. So instead of saying, hey, I agree, what I would do is say, hey, yeah, they did mention this thing potentially needs addressed. Here's how I think you could expand this. Or, yeah, I think you really are missing a page number here. I think that what you're referencing happened on this page, right? So just kind of help give your peers more detail to help them revise. But you can also obviously flag your own things that you want to call attention to. Obviously, you're going to answer the peer review questions again using your assigned color if you're the second or third peer reviewer, right? It's a good idea to read the peer reviewers' comments that came before you first so that you're not having to repeat on things and you can kind of expand on what your peers are saying, okay? So follow these notes that talk about that. And then obviously just head on over to Slack and then again offer holistic feedback to your peers. To your peers, draft that you read. It's a really good idea too that you use the thread feature so that like you're actually responding to your peers' comment, initial reflection comment, and you're posting your replies in there so that it's not creating chaos in your Slack channel, okay? Make sure to use those threads. And then for homework, literally the only thing I'm asking you to do is to finish your peer review for all of your assigned peers. That's it. We're actually going to be looking at what are the comments that our peers have given us on Thursday. So really just spend your time in class and take the time because you are being graded on the quality of your peer review. Okay, cool. I will be in Slack if you've got questions. Awesome.